Well, the last time you were here, also we talked about. I know we were talked about the Nanny, which will eventually be on Broadway. Any updates on that? I know you said it was around 2 years away at best.
Yeah, I don't really know. I have no way of knowing, and I'm not the lead producer on it. But we're all still working on it. And, we're looking forward to Broadway opening up in a big way, to keep opening up more and more shows and bringing New York back to, it's the
time.
glory that it had with all the culture prior to the pandemic.
I can't wait for Broadway to open myself. Well, I mean, so I was doing some research to sit down and talk to you again, and I saw that you've been at least at one Madonna concert. So
More than one.
what do
Yeah,
you,
well, Madonna and I are neighbors in New York. So, and she, is friends with Rosie, who's friends with me. And I was friends with Guy O'Siri, who was her manager. So not only did we live in the same building, but we ended up at some dinner parties together and things like that. And I've always loved her music, her concerts, the things she cares about, her dancing. I think she's a lot of fun, very talented.
what's it like to hang out with Madonna? I mean, you're an icon, so two icons hanging out together. This is like a gay dream, Fran.
I know. She's really nice, and I admire that, she's always danced to the beat of her own drum, even with like adopting kids and not worrying how it's going to impact her life or her career or anything like that. She once said to me, don't wait. Whatever you want to do, just do it. And don't, like procrastinate because you're becoming so absorbed in the what ifs. Don't think that way. Just dive into life, do what you want to do, and whatever it is, you'll deal with it.
That's good advice.
Yes.
Well, you are very funny. I mean, I also read that you made Princess Di laugh.
I did. That's true. I'll never forget that. It's really carved into my memory. I was a big fan of the princess, and I was very grateful that I got to meet her. And I did make her laugh. It was at the
I think was it the CFDA Awards, I think?
yes, the CFDA Awards, right. And at the time, we were both on Mr. Blackwell's list. And for those that don't know who Mr. Blackwell is, he was a columnist that a little bitchy and gossipy, and he wrote a lot about fashion, and he had the best dressed and the worst dressed list that came out annually. And right around that time, she was on the best dressed and I was on the worst dressed. And she didn't have any awareness of it. But when I got to the podium to make my speech, I embellished the conversation. And I said that she told me that she corrected me. I said, we're both on Mr. Blackwell's list. But I said, she said, the princess said that she's on the best dressed and I'm on the worst dressed. And I said, yes, but you have Princess Margaret on your list and I have Demi and Madonna on mine. You're on the wrong list, princess. And I snapped a Z and the audience went nuts. And she was laughing so hard in the front row. I'll never forget it.
It's not easy to make Princess Di laugh, I don't think.
I think she was very joyful on that trip. She was thinking about moving to New York, and I wish she had.
What about, I know that we're talking, Broadway, maybe 2 years away, but eventually maybe we'll see the Nanny reboot back on our TVs. And I know we have to do Broadway first. lately there's a lot of chatter online. I don't know if you've seen this. A lot of people are saying that they think Kim Kardashian would be good in the nanny role. I don't know if you've seen this. What do you think of that?
You mean in the reboot on TV?
Which I know is many, many, many years away after Broadway, but this is the latest chatter.
Well, Kim Kardashian doesn't have a funny voice. And I think the character has to have a funny voice. I'm a fan of Kim's. I think she comes across as a lovely woman, and a smart businesswoman. I have nothing against Kim, but I don't see her in the role.
It's going to be hard to find a voice as iconic as yours.
Yes, well, there are people I think out there, and if we haven't found them yet, we will.
Somehow in Hollywood, it always works out the way it's supposed to, right?
In life, right?
Yeah.
Everything is an opportunity to learn. Sometimes the lesson is more painful than others. But if we get Buddhist and ask ourselves, why has this been presented and what can I learn on my journey of self-refinement? There's always a silver lining, even in the darkest cloud.
You've done so many things, from Queens to Nanny to now, Cancer Schmancer, and like it's really your life cause. If they were going to cast a movie about your life, which one day we might be watching a movie about Fran Drescher's life, who would come to the top of your mind to play you? Say that they could learn the voice. There's so many actresses, like who would come to your mind?
Well, that I've never been asked that question, and I really don't have, a strong answer. But I really don't know. I'm so off center. It's hard to think of someone that really, it's one thing to play the character, but to actually portray me means that they'd really have to be like me and resemble me in a way. And that might be challenging, but maybe after we do casting for the Nanny on Broadway, I'll have a better idea.
I can't believe no one's ever asked you that question.
I know, you're an original.
My mind goes to listen, there's no Fran Drescher out there. My mind goes to someone like a Jennifer Lawrence, just maybe it's because of the New York thing or someone like that. Someone funny, but I don't know. It's a tall order. Maybe like a Drew Barrymore, but I'm picturing a lot of
Well,
things.
the thing is, I wasn't really picturing someone older.
You were
actually picturing someone younger that could be aged up, because there's a lot of living that led up to the Nanny in 93, and that was 30 years ago. So
it needs to be one of those movies where there's 3 different leads. That's what I think. Just 3 parts of your life.
I don't like when they do that.
You don't?
No, because you can't really ever buy into, unless it's a long protracted miniseries like The Crown, where you could watch a couple of seasons and then change it and you accept that it's another stage in life. But within a feature,
it's hard, right?